Thank you guys for coming. My name is Jillian Alexander. I'm a little bit of a personality, if I'm honest. I wasn't a theater major because I was a little bit smarter than paying a lot of money for a degree I wasn't trying to get a job for, but that's my thing. So if I get a little crazy, it's just because I love you guys and I care about you not being in debt, okay? So just bear with me. It's not a lack of professionalism, it's just enthusiasm. Okay, so I got to title this presentation The Only Way to Pay for College because they let me make mine in PowerPoint, which is always dangerous. And so I really believe that scholarships are the only way to pay for college because the prices are ridiculous. If you haven't looked at your bill lately, you'll know as soon as you get your next one. It's a little insane. So I'm going to start out the presentation with a little bit of information about just paying for college in general, which will hopefully get you fired up as I am, because it makes me really angry. Actually, I think my blood pressure is already high from the last session. But it's good because that's good motivation to apply for scholarships. So, to borrow or not to borrow, right? Most people borrow for school. Show of hands because there's no shame. How many people have borrowed for school at some point during their career? Okay, at least half of us. Good to know. It was even more in the last session, so it's okay. I borrowed for school as well. I didn't go to college in 2000. I'm not quite that old. However, I pulled up a bunch of statistics about tuition and fees to give you a little picture of how things have gotten out of hand. So in the year 2000, average tuition and fees was about $3,500 a year. 57% of students, give or take a little bit, were graduating with student loan debt, and that was about $14,800 of student loan debt that they were coming out with. So still pretty high, but the tuition and fees were not that high. The gallon of milk thing will come into play later. In 2016, 2017, the numbers were vastly different. We're looking at $9,600 in tuition and fees a year. We're looking at 66% of students graduating with student loan debt and an average student loan debt of $37,000. These numbers are based on the U.S. Department of Education statistics. I didn't just pull them off a random angry website. This is what they're saying. This is for public four-year institutions, okay? So we're not talking like private school and whatever. Like, this is these students going to a four-year university. Just in case you missed it, that change in tuition cost is a 175% increase over 17 years. That's huge, especially when you compare it with other cost of living indicators like your gallon of milk, which we have a 17.9% change. 175%, 17.9%. Picking up what I'm putting down? Okay. All right, so with all of that said, it's really important to calculate your monthly loan payment that you're going to have coming out, right? Because it's really important to know how much you need to make to be able to have a house, a car, food on your table, and make your student loan payments, because being in default is really ugly and really bad. So back in 2000, it might have been around $179, which isn't chump change, but it's kind of like a low car payment maybe. Now it's $370, which again, it's not huge, but that's substantial if you're coming out making $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 a year.
My husband's payment is $900 a month.
Yes.
Not $300. It's $900 a month.
Totally believe it. Totally believe it. So that is the kind of stuff. So I don't know about you guys. I get really upset with this stuff, and not at the government, because it's not their job to pay for our education. It's our job to pay for our education. So we just need to find a way to hack the system. I was looking today to find numbers. It's estimated that in the United States there are $4 billion of scholarship money available to students each year. It's more than enough to pay for most of the people going to a four-year public university. So how do we get that money? That's the question. Okay, so sideline real quick. It's really important when you're doing public speaking, this is your speech class for today, to explain why you're qualified to talk on the topic you're qualified, or you're proposing to be qualified to talk about. Okay, so I'm going to explain why I can talk to you about this. I am a financial aid counselor, sort of, with Oregon Tech. Actually, the people in Klamath Falls have all the power, so I really just push the buttons to try to help get you what you need. But why I'm talking to you about this is not because I'm in financial aid, it is because I was a student as well. And I paid for my education with scholarships. And I said this to the last group, and I hope you won't take offense because it's not meant offensively, but I am not a minority student, and I am not on the lower socioeconomic end of the spectrum in terms of my family's income when I was going to undergraduate. I did not qualify for Pell Grants. I didn't qualify for any of the affirmative action type grants. I was about as average as you can get. And I still paid for both my undergraduate and my graduate school with scholarships. So you too can do this. I'm not special. You guys are special, and it is possible. So, okay, so I finally did the numbers. I earned $56,323 in scholarships over my 5 years of school, 4 years for undergrad, 1 year for master's. Yeah, that included full tuition for undergrad, full tuition for graduate school, and some living stuff. So it is possible. Can't blow me off. I did it. So how do we find this free money? It obviously doesn't grow on trees, or we'd all be out looking for it. We're going to pay for college without paying, but first, nothing great is ever achieved without enthusiasm, okay? You guys are not as good as the last group. I'm just going to be totally honest. I need some help here. Okay, you can ask questions. You can be goofy. It's fine. That's why we're here. So, but the whole thing is, I hope I got you fired up because we need to pay for school without a $900 a month college payment, right? So the enthusiasm is key. All right, so here's my strategy. I literally sit down with students every day, maybe every other day, and give them this shield. Okay, so it's really well practiced, and I give it because it works. This is what I did. This is what you can do too. You need to start local. When you're looking for scholarships, you need to talk to your high school guidance counselor, even if you've been out of high school for 10 years or more. You need to talk to the Kiwanis Club in your hometown. You need to talk to the Rotary Club. You need to talk to the people in your community who are invested in the people from your community, because that is where the bulk of the money should come from. Unless you're doing like a Ford scholarship or something like that where they're just going to pay for everything for you, which is awesome, and I'm all about it, that is the place to start, is that local. Who are the people who are invested in you? So again, Lions Club, Rotary Club, Kiwanis Club, all those like Elks, Moose Lodge thing, do that. Maybe your church or your other religious organization might give you money. Those are the places to look. Then you can take a step out and do personal affiliations. So that might be your employer, your parents' employer, your grandparents' employer, I don't know. Sometimes they have legacy grants and things. Military, maybe, if you or your spouse or your family were military. Am I making sense? Okay, cool. All right, and then we're going to look at institutional, which is like Oregon Tech scholarships, right? So we're going to talk about the Oregon Tech Foundation scholarships here for a minute. Oregon Tech Foundation scholarships are due March 1st, the applications. It's 2 essays and an activities chart, and we're going to talk about how to do awesome ones in a couple minutes. But we have 130 scholarships we're giving away this year and $350,000, so that's a great start, and there's only 5,200 students at Oregon Tech. So you're already looking at better odds than a lot of other places. So this is all about the numbers. This is all about, are you one of 20 who's applied for this scholarship or one of 20,000? Okay, don't apply for a Doritos scholarship. I will like hunt you down, and I don't know, I'm a nice person, so I probably wouldn't yell at you. But seriously, don't waste your time on these things. That's dumb. Don't do that. Go to the Lions Club and knock on their door and say, hey, I grew up in Roseburg. Do you have money for me? Do that. Okay.
If you look at the doors.
Yeah, right. And then go bigger. You know, if you are going to qualify for something that's a big deal because you're super special in some way, I don't even know. Your family had a really unusual circumstance, you had a really unusual circumstance, and they give out scholarships for that, go for it. I mean, not to belittle this at all, my mom's a cancer survivor, okay, but like cancer survivor scholarships. You know, if that's a thing for you, look for that kind of stuff. If you are in a particular major, you're in a renewable energy engineering major, like that's a big deal right now. People care about that stuff. They want to throw money at you. Let them. So look at those kind of things. Any questions? Please don't be insulted. My goal is not to hurt you.
What's the smallest scholarship you earned got
Oh, good question.
amount? A lot of people don't do them because they're like, oh, I'm gonna get $200.
Right, totally. Either $500 or $1,000. Yeah, something like that. Okay, so the whole goal is to be a big fish in a small pond. This is for all of you visual people who need memory tags. I want you to hone in, focus, imprint, big fish, small pond, okay? Every time you go look for a scholarship, this should be the image that comes up for you. Because you want to be that natural fit. You want to be the one where the committee looks at your application and goes, of course, who else could we give this scholarship to? Big fish, small pond. Okay, so how do we do that? Applications that win. There's a couple things. I'm going to focus on the Oregon Tech Foundation scholarships here for a minute, but this is really pertinent to pretty much anything that you're applying for. Most scholarships require the essay. I know that we're in a tech school, and the word essay just makes some people want to be a little puddle on the floor. Okay, I was an English major, so I don't have these feelings, but I do understand because my brother's a techie, and he has these feelings very strongly. So I have good news for you. First, I'm available to you. I'm an English major, really good at this stuff, and I'm free. Yay! My office is on the first floor. I am literally happy to read your essays. I will destroy them. I will make them bleed all over the floor, but out of love and out of a desire to see you actually win money. Because if I just let you go with your silly little essay that's really not that great, that wouldn't be real love because you wouldn't win any money and it would be a lot of effort on your part that would be wasted. So, send them to me. I'll make them cry, and then they'll be good. But the important thing about essays, if you can remember these three things, you'll write great essays. The first thing is a great hook. If you start out with, I'm an amazing student and I deserve money, I know that's really trite, but I read essays all the time, let me tell you. People say these things. Don't do that. That is a terrible hook. Be like, nope. Nope. So, a great hook, something about your passion, something about an experience that you had. If you lead in with something like a dark and stormy night, I might keep reading. And that sounds really silly, but I didn't hand them out to you. I'm a terrible presenter. Okay, so I don't have a lot of these, and I'm happy to make more or send you. You guys have some, so I'm going to let you share. You guys have some. Okay. All right, so these are sample essays and activities charts that got really good scores in OTF. And I am a scorer, so I know what we're looking for. So if you guys can share, I will be happy to send you more if you'd like, or you can come down to my office afterwards, and I'll give you a copy. But basically, the story there is of a gal who decided to go into our surveying major. That's called what? The surveying major?
GIS.
Yeah. What is
GIS.
Yeah. Is it Geographic Information System? Yeah, something like that. Okay. So anyway, she talks about how she just discovered this incredible passion for surveying, but she doesn't say, I have an incredible passion for surveying. She tells the story, right? And that's really helpful. So tell your story, and then last but not least, great grammar and spelling. Okay, this is not to say that if you spell a word incorrectly or you put a comma in the wrong place or something, we're gonna scrap your essay. So not true. But I will tell you that last year, I had an essay come across my desk, and this is official, this isn't somebody looking for me to proofread, right? This is scoring stage. It had no capital letters in it. None, not one. I was like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? How did we let you into college? Can we kick them out? I didn't know who it was, so we could kick them out. But please don't do that. That makes me want to turn into a puddle on the floor, okay? No. Great grammar and spelling, please. You may not be the greatest grammarian or speller, and that's okay. That's what spell check is for. And me. Remember, I'm free, first floor. Happy to help. And I won't yell at you for having bad grammar or spelling, okay? You guys are amazing tech people, and I want you to just stay amazing tech people, and I'll handle the grammar, okay? It's fine. So, activities chart or resume. For the Oregon Tech Foundation scholarships, we have activities chart. How many people have filled out that application before? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4. Okay. Good job, you guys. All the rest of you, I expect you to raise your hands next year when you come back for more wonderful tips. So the key to the activities chart is depth, not breadth. Anybody want to take a stab at what I mean by that? Yeah.
Don't rattle on, just put stuff down that's worthwhile.
Yes. Yes. It is very important for you to decide what you're going to put on your activities chart and make it meaningful. Absolutely. So, for example, this person has 4 different activities on their activities chart, which I'm not saying you have to do 4, there's no magic number or anything, but the goal is to put down the stuff that you are committed to and invested in, right? So, how many people, what are our majors in here? That would be helpful.
Or EE.
Uh-huh. Okay. CLS, software, I'm sorry.
CLS.
Okay, awesome.
EE.
Gosh, you guys are an awesome group. Everybody last time was like all MLS, which I love them, but you know. So that's really cool because that means it could be a ton of different things for you guys. So for them, I'll give you my MLS example because it's really easy. Let's say there's an MLS club. I don't know if there's even an MLS club, but you're in an MLS club and you're an officer in there. So you do all their things, their blood drive, their whatever, and you're doing some admin work for them because you're an officer. So if I was putting that on my activities chart, I would put in extracurricular, MLS club, participated in, blah, 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 and leadership, MLS club officer, did admin work, blah, 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 blah. You have to separate those things out because this is really dumb, but they make us only grade a line as one thing. So even if you put, I'm an officer and I participated in MLS club, I can only do that as extracurricular or leadership, not both. So break it out for me so that I don't have to. But these activities that you're doing need to be what you're really invested in, the things you've spent the most time doing. And my example last group was like, if you're a single parent and you have no time and you're not involved in an extracurricular activity and you don't have leadership roles and whatever, please, 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 please put that. Put other, single parent, investing in my kid's future. Seriously. Because all I need to know is that you're doing stuff other than living in a basement playing video games. I'm being 100% honest because I can give you 5 points for being a single parent on your thing. I can't give you 5 points if you have nothing on your chart. And I understand that if that's what you do, then you don't have other stuff to put on there. That's totally fine. But just tell me, committee, what you're doing so that we can give you credit for what you're doing. Is that helpful? Okay. Oh, I was going to give you an example. Okay, so they should give you criteria. Oregon Tech Foundation Scholarship gives you 5 different boxes you can fill in: extracurricular, leadership, other, employment, and one other that I can never remember. So, fill those out. And then think about your look and feel. What you're submitting for the Oregon Tech Foundation is in a chart they give to you. You just do what they tell you to do. But if you're filling out a resume for something else, you want that resume to read as the person that you are, right? Then you need to get a sense of who you are from that. So I'll give you an example of one way that I was able to do that. Oops. I applied for the Girls Going Places Scholarship back in a long time ago, 2007, something like that. It was an entrepreneurship scholarship for girls in their teens. And I had run my own business for 3 or 4 years at that point. I was doing American history themed day camps for younger girls. And it had been wildly successful, way more successful than I expected it to be. And I put together this business portfolio with pictures and flyers and budget sheets and all the stuff from the business that I had done, and letters of rec from people who knew me, who knew how it had gone and all that stuff, and submitted it to this thing. They didn't ask for a business portfolio, okay? They asked for a resume. And while I generally don't recommend submitting things that people don't ask for, this was an entrepreneurship scholarship for girls that were going to do great things with their business savvy. And I was like, I'm going to look like a girl who knows how to put a business together. And I'm going to have all my P's and Q's in order, and they're gonna see that I am a girl going places. And I won. Third place, but it had a $3,000 price tag associated with it, so it wasn't too bad. So I got my computer for school, my printer, and probably some food or something. So anyway, look and feel, right? You want to present as the person that they're looking for in a way that is authentic to who you are. Okay, super, super important, really simple. 2 pairs of eyes are better than 1, right? Proofread everything, okay? So here's my example with this. I used to be well known in my family for jumping into a conversation right in the middle. And I don't mean someone else's conversation. I mean the conversation going on inside my own head. And I would start, and Mom's like, could you back up and give me the first 5 sentences, please? Yeah, I guess you didn't hear the internal dialogue. Sure. So this is what I'm thinking. So we do the same things in our essays sometimes, or our resumes or whatever. We start thinking along a track. We start writing. We're missing pieces or chunks of important information. But if somebody else is reading that, they can be like, hey, I have no idea what you're talking about. You need to fill me in or make this more cohesive, make this flow better. So definitely have someone else look. I say this because, again, I read essays all the time. I'm a foundation reader. And I'm like, I would bet money that people did not have someone else read this. Because they would say, sentence A does not go with sentence B. It doesn't make any sense. So it's really hard for me to give you a good grade if that's the case. So have somebody else read it. Again, I can do that. I'm free. OTF has a really good policy where if I come across somebody's application blind, because they're all stripped of identifying information, and I've read it, you submitted it to me, I helped you go over it, and then I get it in the pool, I can kick it back into the pool. So it's not going to be anything that's going to hurt you if you choose to send it to me. Okay, letters of rec. Sometimes they require letters of recommendation for scholarships in the Oregon Tech Foundation grouping. Please, 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 please tell people ahead of time.
Does Oregon Tech require letter of recommendation?
Some of the Oregon Tech Foundation scholarships do require letters of recommendation. Not all of them, but a few of them. Yeah, so now's a good time to be talking to your professor or whoever might be writing that for you. Please be clear about what you need. Maybe write your own letter of recommendation and give it to them and say, hey, this is a sample of what you might, write for me, or you could sign it. Yes, this is good. This is how people get promotions, like my uncle in the Air Force, who wrote all his own and just had his supervisor sign. It's also how things get done, because sometimes people don't have time. Please do not hear what I'm not saying, okay? I am not saying that you forge somebody's signature and submit it. Okay, I did not say that. And if that ever, no, I didn't say that. This is being recorded. I did not say that. But if you write your own letter of recommendation and give it to your professor and say, hey, this is something like what might be useful for the scholarship, that could make their job great. Yes?
Whenever I do letters of recommendation, I always go online and look at a template as if I was writing one for somebody.
Yep.
I fill out the template, I send it to them of like talking points they can talk about me, just in case they don't know all the pertinent things
Sure.
worth saying about me.
Totally. Yeah, because sometimes your people don't know you as well as you know you, most of the time. Yeah, it's great. Okay, so I'm going to make this really short because we're almost over time. So, dream big, right? We talked about looking at all these different scholarships, all the options in the world. Don't do the Doritos scholarship, but all these different things. Then you need to make the cut. You can only do so many scholarship applications. I totally understand. So be realistic. I did the numbers several years ago for the scholarships that I had won. I estimated about 13% of the ones I applied for I actually got. So if you apply for $1 million worth of scholarships, 13% is not too bad. If you apply for $1,000 worth of scholarships, you might get a third of the textbook. So, yeah. So make the cut, then do your planning. It's so easy. All right, I had a paper planner and a calculator when I did, or not a calculator, a calendar when I did this. You have a smartphone that can ding you 18 times a day until you do it. Do it! Do it! Okay, so just put it in your calendar and have it ding you until you do it, because it's easy. And don't give up. I know it's really easy to get discouraged. It's really easy to be like, this is not worth it. It's worth it. It's totally worth it. When you're not paying $900 a month or $300 a month or $170 a month, you'll be like, I'm so glad I did this. It's worth it. Invest the time now. Don't give up. Come to me. I'll pep talk you. Go to a friend who went to this. They'll pep talk you. Do it. Don't give up. Okay, so here's why you shouldn't give up. $500 scholarship, right? Small potatoes. Not a big deal. Except that if you're making $15 an hour at Starbucks, it takes you 33.3 hours to earn that $500. It's a long time. It does not take you 33.3 hours to write a scholarship application. I don't care how bad you are at writing an essay. The time spent on Facebook avoiding it does not count. Okay? Okay, so nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm. Can we be excited? Is there some good stuff in here? Okay, we can do this. It is possible.
Can we hear more about the Doritos scholarship?
Just eat Doritos. It's way better than applying for the scholarship. Okay, so last but not least, you need to know what's next, right? So you apply for all these scholarships, you win 13% of them, you're like riding high because you just paid for 2 years of college, but then what? Where does it go? How does it get there? How do they know it's yours? These are good questions you should be asking if you're not. Because when they send you an email, it says, "Congratulations, Jonathan, you have just won a $1,500 scholarship." That's not the end of it. That money does not magically translate into your account somehow. It may seem that way. It does not do that. So you should write them back and say, "Thank you so much. That's so amazing. My full name is blah, 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 and my student ID number is blah, 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 blah. Could you please make sure it's on the check, and this is the address to send it to?" That will save you lots of heartache and knocking on my door. I'm happy to answer your questions, but I cannot get checked from point A to point B, and you can. So please give them the relevant details, especially your student ID number, because that's very helpful. Okay, keeping your scholarship, please, 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 please be educated. Do you need a certain GPA? Do you need a certain number of credits to be qualified for the scholarship? Do you have to do service hours? Do you have to do something else? No, because I get students who come into my office all too frequently that are like, "What the heck? I had a scholarship the last 2 terms and now I don't see a scholarship on my thing." And I'm looking through their file and I'm like, "Looks like you didn't submit all your service hours." They're like, "Ah!" And I'm like, "I can help you. Please don't shoot me. It's not my fault. Please know what you need to do to keep your scholarship. We don't want you to lose money that you already earned." And then, of course, it is a lot to be thankful for. Whether it's $500 or $5,000 or $50,000, somebody else is paying and you don't have to. So please be grateful. Please send a nice email or a nice handwritten note or whatever it is that you do, because that's a nice human thing to do. And I'm sure they'll appreciate it. And that's pretty much it. So I do write a blog called The Debt Free Student. It has lots more of all the same kind of stuff that I just gave you. Examples of essays, examples of what to do on your resume, whatever. It's great. I'm plugging it. I don't get any money from it, so it's okay. Also, you can email me. I am seriously happy to. I do this because I love students, and I love students to be debt free. Seriously, that's why I'm here. I wouldn't do this job if I didn't like it. I don't get paid that much. Okay? So, I'm here for you. I want to help you. That's my email. Please email me that you attended so I can draw your name for a scholarship, because I will be drawing names after the presentation. Just say I attended. Do it tonight. I'll do it tomorrow. So. And then if you do want help with essays or activities charts or any of that stuff, again, come down to my office, email me. Please email me that you're going to do this, and then I will direct you to my Gmail account, because I like to use Google Docs, because it's way easier for me to make comments on that than it is through Outlook. So that would be helpful. Also, I do need lead time. I don't grade essays overnight. I know that sounds terrible, but I have a child now, and so that kind of takes up my overnight at the moment, because he's only 3 months old. So yeah, give me a couple days.
You look fantastic.
Thanks. He's adopted, so that helps.
Still not sleeping yet.
But yeah, no, I love it, and I was an English major, so hopefully I can really help you. But yeah, send that to me. Give me a couple days heads up before you send it. And then I should give credits, because I did not design this beautiful PowerPoint. I mean, I put all the stuff in it, but they did all the hard work. So that is pretty much it. Any questions? Anything I can help with? Yeah.
Your name has 2 L's in it?
It does, yeah. 2 L's. Jillian. Jillin.
Important. When is the OIT scholarship?
March 1st. March 1st is the deadline, so chop chop. 2 essays, 250 words, 1 activity chart.
Does it have to be about different things?
They give you prompts.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, where do we find access to this?
Yeah, so on the main page of our website, there's a little ribbon. One says college costs. If you just roll over it, it has a drop down that says scholarships. Click that. Almost the bottom, like third of the way from the bottom, it says Oregon Tech Foundation scholarships, and that's where you can apply. So if you need a sample of the essay or the activities chart, I'm more than happy to give that to you just in your email to me. Ask me for a copy and I'll send you one. So it's not a magic formula, but sometimes it's inspiring. Anything else? Yeah.
Does the OTF offer graduate level scholarships as well?
That is a great question. I honestly have no idea. I would have to ask Julie, who's our scholarship coordinator, but I'll ask because I know you and I can, you know.
Log in and look it up.
I don't know how easy it is to find. I'm happy to ask Julie. So, yeah, graduate scholarships are the hardest and the easiest because they're usually really big. They can be kind of hard to find. So,
What was the deadline again? March?
yeah. Just a pro tip, which I didn't give the other group. So, it's not that I don't like them. I just had to get them out of here. Leadership and Diversity Scholarship is part of the OTF process this time. You don't have to be anything. You don't have to be a minority. You don't have to be an amazing officer in something. You just have to talk about why you bring something unique to Oregon Tech. And everybody has something unique that they bring to Oregon Tech. So definitely apply for that. I think it's a $2,000 scholarship this year, and it's renewable up to 4 years. That's $8,000. That'll help. And last year we had 40 applicants, I think, which made us all very sad. And we did either 5 or 8 of them, so your odds were super good. Anything? Yep.
How much does the OIT scholarship cover?
It depends. The Oregon Tech Foundation scholarships, there's 135 of them this year and $345,000 in total. So some of those are like $8,000 and some of those are like $500. Anybody else? Again, I'm downstairs. I'm here Mondays through Wednesdays, 9 to 5 right now. And I'm happy to help. If you can't make that because you're a 1-day-a-week student and you only come on Fridays or something, just let me know. I literally live 5 minutes from here, and I would be happy to meet you over lunch or something as long as you don't mind my 3-month-old. It's very social. So, yeah, happy to help. All right. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great night.